Hi guys, welcome back on board of the Crypto Cruise. It's me Chris, and today we're going to talk about Polygon, previously known as Matic, what Polygon is all about, what makes it unique. We're going to talk some chart analysis, potential price target. Of course, we're also going to mention Ethereum, where it's heading in the immediate short term. And today's show, we're going to start with the Bitcoin chart, as we always do. And today we're experiencing quite a significant bounce back, the way I've told you we will, and that the correction is over. And right now we're experiencing continuation of the trend on the upside. Now, am I expecting all-time highs immediately? No. I've told you once we break out above this local top that we formed on 18th of September at prices just below 118,000 to 117,900 to be exact. I've told you, but potentially we can consolidate for a few weeks. Potentially we can just consolidate for a few weeks, and by the end of October I'm anticipating Bitcoin to start testing prices of all-time high, potentially 230,000. So the next coming weeks, the next coming days, I'm just expecting Bitcoin to test prices just below 120,000 and just come back to 116,000, just between 116 119,000, consolidate for few days, potentially by the end of October, and then November start testing all-time high prices. Let's see how I think is gonna play out. But so far so good. My expectation has been coming out right, and I've told you guys, corrections like this, they don't actually last long because we're in a raging bull market. The bottom of the bear market happened in November of 2022 at price of around 15,000. At the time of recording this video, as I've said, Bitcoin is around 118,000, so almost 8x. Considering the fear and greed index, while everyone is fearful, you should be greedy, and vice versa. Yes, of course, nothing goes in a straight up line. Corrections along the way, they're actually healthy and they're actually for buying. Now, when it comes to Ethereum, I'm anticipating higher prices for Ethereum as well. As I've said, on the yearly chart, I see nothing but bullish momentum, a huge reverse head and shoulders, as you can clearly see. And not only that, another bullish chart pattern measured from March of 2024 all the way to last month of August of 2025, almost a year and a half. We formed this huge ascending triangle pattern, as you can clearly see here on the weekly chart. We actually broke above this resistance line that we've been tested multiple times in the past, starting from November of 2021 at price of around 4,800. We tested it again here in March of 2024. We tested it in June of 2024. We even tested it at the end of last year at price of above 4,000. And while everyone was thinking Ethereum, but perhaps we're going to break above this resistance line and we're going to start hitting all-time highs for Ethereum, we actually capitulated because Bitcoin was hitting all-time high at the end of last year. Ethereum, it didn't do that. We actually capitulated from price of around 4,000. We dropped all the way to 1,200. Nobody expected that. I did though. What I've told you then, a V-shaped recovery. Trump came into power, introduced the tariffs, and that absolutely made the markets explode. And Ethereum hit all-time high, price of around 5,000. Right now, we're experiencing a little correction, just a small falling wedge for continuation of the trend on the upside. And if we measure this chart pattern, this ascending triangle pattern, if you measure from the bottom to the top, the price target should be above 6,600, and this is something that I'm actually anticipating for Ethereum to do in the next coming months, potentially November, December. I'm not going to be surprised. One final shake off, but potentially beginning of next year, January, February, and a blow off top by March, April of next year. Potentially Ethereum can even test price of above 10,000. 5 digits for Ethereum is not completely out of the picture. But let's see how I think it's going to play out. When it comes to Polygon, or previously known as Matic, before I say anything, I have to tell you guys, anything I say in this video, it is not a financial advice, it's for pure entertainment purposes. And before you do anything, do due diligence and make your own research, because as I've said, this is definitely not a financial advice. But what I'm actually anticipating for Polygon is to have much higher prices. Again, Polygon can easily go to zero, so always do diligence and make your own research. because nothing here, nothing in the markets is guaranteed. But if we establish one thing for certain, two things for sure, is that we're in a raging bull market, not only for Bitcoin, but for the traditional markets as well, when it comes to S&P 500, to Dow Jones Industrial, Nasdaq, they're all in a raging bull market. Bitcoin as well. Ethereum is already hit all-time highs. Right now, consolidate to its previous all-time high for continuation of the trend on the upside. And one of these layer ones, one of these altcoins will tend to outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum. Not in the long term, but once the true speculation of the altcoin season kicks in, potentially Matic can be one, Polygon can be one of those coins that outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum. And as I've said, not in the long term, but in the next coming 4 to 6 months, once the true altcoin season happen. I mean, let's just look at the statistic. If history is any indicator, I mean, we can potentially predict the future. And if we just zoom in here, basically from end of January of 2021, one price for one pole was around 2 cents. Just fast forward in mid of May of 2021, so it was around 3 months and a half after that, after end of January of 2021, one price for Pole was around $2.70. So went 100x. It went 100x in a matter of 2 months and a half. Basically, in a matter of 3 months, this thing went 100x. Am I predicting for Polygon to go 100x, meaning above $20 at the time of recording this video? Polygon is around 20 cents, 23 cents to be exact. For Polygon to go $20, no, I don't anticipate for Polygon to go $20. But is it possible for Polygon to outperform some of these outs? Absolutely, I think that's highly possible and highly likely, to be quite frank with you. But what I'd like to see for Polygon to do to establish bullishness and basically to remain bullish is simple. I'd like to go Polygon to go and test this resistance line that we've tested multiple times in the past, starting from February of 2023 at price of around $1.23. Actually went even further than that. It went $1.56. Then here in March of 2024 went $1.30. So if Polygon remain a little bit bullishness and take out this local top that we formed in December of 2024 at price of around 76 cents, go and test this resistance line above 84 cents, potentially to 90 cents, turn this previous resistance into support, and I can quickly see Polygon exploding to its previous all-time high to price of around $2.90. I'm not gonna be surprised at all if some of that happen. Let's say by next year, early next year, February, March of next year, Polygon remain its all-time high, and if the bulls take over and we have a full price discovery when it comes to Polygon, and from $3 pretty much triple in price and test this $10 level and basically double digit when it comes to Polygon, I'm not going to be surprised. Again, I'm not going to be surprised if Polygon goes to zero as well. So you always have to consider the options. You know, it can go to zero, but also it can go exponentially higher, because if we, as I've said, if we just look at the database, we have only one bull cycle in terms of Polygon, but it went over 100x. I'm not saying this bull cycle Matic or Polygon will go 100x, but potentially 50x. Yes, potentially something like that can happen. Polygon has a lot of unique addresses built on the network, has a lot of applications built on it, so it's definitely worth it to have a look. And Polygon can be one of those coins that can go really fast, really high, right? Really high, really fast. So it's definitely worth it to have a look. And again, it's not a financial advice. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate all the support. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do it. It's for absolutely free. And if you really want to support my work, that would be absolutely amazing. And with that subscription comes a lot of exclusive content with the most undervalued, underappreciated coins out there. Some of them 50, 100x potential. Not only that, my 2 books of how to become a sophisticated trader, and of course one-on-one consultation of how to navigate through that bull cycle. I'm going to teach you how to set up a trade, a long position, short position, and much more. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see each other tomorrow. Goodbye.